after we really started seeing some clear patterns in the neuroscience, I was also doing some clinical studies at the time and wanted to see how well these practices could actually work to help people, change hardcore addiction. So my first study was with alcohol and cocaine use disorders, and we found that mindfulness training was as good as gold standard treatment in helping people not relapse to use. My next studies was with smoking cessation, where we really started to focus in on the exploring gratification to its end, right? Having people literally smoke mindfully and see what it's like. And people were noticing, oh, cigarettes actually don't taste very good, and becoming disenchanted. And we got 5 times the quit rates of gold standard treatment. So that was pretty good. I was happy with that. And then we started really applying this, thinking, people don't learn to smoke in my office. And so it's a little artificial to have them learn these mindfulness practices in my office, even in a group setting. Can we take these evidence-based treatments and translate them in and deliver them through an app? So do it in context, because that's really where people learn and reinforce habits. So that's when we started exploring, developing apps for smoking. We developed one called Craving to Quit, an app for eating, because this is really where this whole process is set up, is to help us remember where to find food. So that one's called Eat Right Now, and we got 40% reduction in craving-related eating. Yeah, a study led by Ashley Mason at UCSF that was published a couple of years ago, showing that, lo and behold, an app can really help people break the cycle of stress and emotional eating. This is in obese and overweight individuals. So folks who had struggled enough that it was causing suffering in one way or the other, 40% reduction will take it. That was pretty remarkable. And then we developed this app called Unwinding Anxiety to help people with anxiety for the same reasons, right? We can get stuck in these habits around anxiety. We did a study in physicians because they're really tough to work with. I can say that, being one myself. And we got a 50% reduction in clinically validated anxiety measures. And we found that anxiety is pretty correlated with burnout. So we threw in some burnout measures and found that we were getting a 50% reduction in burnout as well. So very, very happy with those results. So it's nice because there are a lot of, mindfulness is pretty popular these days, and, you can get a gazillion apps on, about here, learn to meditate. But I'm really into finding evidence behind things. If we're going to say that they work, I want to know that they work. So, that's kind of how things evolved. Was, well, didn't think we'd be developing apps, but here we are. And my lab could study them rigorously in clinical trials. And here, we're really standing on the shoulders of giants around packaging these techniques in a way that really supports individuals in waking up, and starting by helping them learn how their minds work, mapping out those habit loops, helping them explore what the rewards or non-rewards of their behaviors are based on specific pain points like anxiety, like stress eating. And so that, we actually just finished a study with our smoking app, the Craving to Quit program, where we actually, in a prospective manner, we scanned their brains at baseline and showed them pictures of people smoking, and it lit up their self-referential brain regions like a Christmas tree. And then we predicted that a reduction in that brain region would correlate with smoking outcomes. And so we randomized them to get our Craving to Quit app or a National Cancer Institute's app. And a month later, scanned them again. And lo and behold, we found that there was a strong correlation between the reduction in brain activity in the group that got mindfulness training, but no correlation at all in the control group. So this very, carefully controlled study was showing that we can get perspective changes with specific brain regions that predict clinical outcomes. I'll take it. I was pretty happy with that.
Okay.